I don't like WildSpartanz. I don't like his videos, I don't like his attitude, and I don't like that he's generally accepted as a good content creator, even by those who are making videos complaining about him.
He's being such a hypocrite. His content is amazing. Like, I don't know if you've realised his content is fucking brilliant. Like, I actually love his videos. I watch nearly all of his videos. Yes, I don't leave feedback all the time.
But what I like even less than all of that is the fact that he's #1 on my related channels page, meaning, apparently, YouTube sees me and him as extremely similar. Go fuck yourself, YouTube. Now, when talking about WildSpartanz, there's one thing that you have to either accept or deny, and that's that self-deprecation and acknowledgement is not an excuse for bad practices. If you don't accept that, then you probably won't agree with very much in this video, because WildSpartanz' only saving grace to people, as far as I can tell, is the fact that he knows what he's doing is bad practice and he acknowledges it. So for our first example, let's talk about clickbait. This is what WildSpartanz thinks about the subject.
See, clickbait is something that's supposed to be attention grabbing. Something you want to get the audience in with. Not misleading. Everybody thinks clickbait is supposed to be misleading. No, clickbait is supposed to be something that is exaggerated of your video.
Quite vague, but with this logic, we can deconstruct a lot of his videos as hypocritical. Here's how I'm assuming he views it. You can name your video, commentary channels are over, and it's not misleading clickbait because he discusses that topic. However, with the same logic, you can't make this statement.
Oh, I regret what I said right here. My sister reacts to BO3 comments. Fucking clickbaited that shit. Clickbaited that shit. Okay.
Because this video is his sister reacting to Black Ops 3 comments. You see, Sparta's opinion on clickbait is a slippery slope. If clickbait is supposed to be something exaggerated about your video, then you can't call out this video. You can't call out this video. Nor this, or this. Because all of these videos and titles have something to do with what's happening in the video, and they're just exaggerating it. Then, on the other hand, if you want to say that he's saying that videos need to more strictly follow the title and thumbnail, then he can't make this title and thumbnail. Because, yes, the video is about YouTube, sort of, and yes, the video is about PewDiePie, sort of, but the main topic of discussion is media and the news story written by The Independent. And you could say with the title he's questioning the story since he added the question mark, or he's shocked because he added the exclamation point. However, in my opinion, you're running with a technicality on that argument. But okay, let's say he gets away on that technicality. What's his excuse for his YouTube is deleting everyone's channel video? This video is clickbait. Everyone knows it's clickbait. Hell, he even states in the description that the video is clickbait. So having had a misleading clickbait video like this, everything he's ever said about clickbait, or will ever say in the future, is hypocritical. Because if you make misleading clickbait videos, you can't turn around and call out others for the same. So a few weeks later, what's he do? Makes another video about clickbait.
That fucking thumbnail. A dude holding a knife up to a baby's fucking head. Are you fucking kidding me, Xility?
Good opinion to have, I agree with you. But if he can't have it in the thumbnail, why the fuck can you? Yo, what's up? So today we're gonna be talking about one of the most cancerous channels on the internet, WildSpartanz. This channel is run by a retarded cunt who likes to make regurgitated rants about what's trending and uses zooming in toward his face instead of actually scripting. Oh, what are those called? Oh yeah, jokes.
So, if you didn't hear, the beta podcast is over. The retards over there couldn't settle their shit in private. Now, not really retards, I should say. More like one retard, and that one retard is Keemstar.
Damn! I think that dude's trying to out-retard me. No one out-retards the shark. You will never best me in a game of extended vocabulary. What'd he get, 4? That's what I counted. Let's play that back on mute. I know I can beat that benchmark. This retard's originality is about as limited as his retarded vocabulary. But what's even more retarded are the retards who tweet things like this to this retard. 5, bitch. Surprise, surprise. Your shark is the retarded champion once again. Suck it. Suck it. Suck it. The next issue with WildSpartanz is his opinion, or more specifically, his lack thereof. You see, the majority of WildSpartanz videos follow trending topics, which I mean, depending on how you look at it, could be bad or it could be good. Now, generally, consensus goes that you can jump on a trending topic if you're going to add to that conversation. At least that's how it seems most people lean when the issue is brought up. So we're going to take a look at the WildSpartanz video, Commentary Channels Are Over, as well as the I'm Alex video, The Death of Commentary Channels, Leafy is Here. I'm Alex's video came out November 15th, 2016, and WildSpartanz video came out November 19th, 2016.
Yes, we slayed the mighty Leafy who makes bad content and who doesn't credit anyone. But then you also slayed a 100 million view a month channel, which brings just constant support to other channels, because...
Now, I cannot really explain the view drop in a whole. I don't know exactly where it's coming from, but I can make a suggestion, and Leafy's fall is my suggestion.
For people complaining that the commentary community is on its way down, on a downward spiral, it's never going to end it. Stop using Overwatch gameplay.
But I had to switch quick because gameplay is literally fucking killing channels at this point. You see, gameplay is a big turnoff to a lot of fucking people. And the way YouTube is it's adapt or fucking die.
You can't kill trending topics, and you can't kill drama. So, you know, commentary community's fine. I promise you for sure.
YouTube commentaries will thrive and survive, okay? They'll do one of the two, okay?
Now, WildSpartanz could have come to basically the same conclusions as I'm Alex here, but given that he's friends with I'm Alex, I mean the two literally run a podcast together called The Trending Topic, I think it's more than likely that Sparta saw Alex's video, took away the main points, and talked about them for his video. So when I'm Alex says something like this during a video about bandwagoning,
the problem shouldn't be whether it's a trending topic, or whether it's something that has already been done, or so on and so forth. It should be whether the content is funny, entertaining, good, achieves, adds.
You've got to wonder what exactly Spartanz added to the conversation outside of defending his switch to facecam, which is more of a personal thing that doesn't really have anything to do with the topic. But that's not really even the point. The point is that Sparta's opinion is as shallow and superficial as can be found on YouTube, which is probably why he does trending topics in the first place. The person who makes the initial video is the one that has to compile the evidence of the claim. Therefore, all he has to do is reciprocate that information and give his superficial opinion on the matter, adding nothing of any benefit to anyone other than a few hundred curse words, which is apparently entertaining.
No, but seriously, that was the worst attempt at being funny I've ever fucking seen. I just voice cracked 3 times. Like, I don't even try to be funny here. I try to be entertaining.
But, seeing as I'm not WildSpartanz and I actually look at stuff before I just spout opinion, let me provide you with some proof. Here's a video about Lance Stewart complaining about him using his girlfriend as clickbait. Eki's video came out September 5th, 2016, Sparta's on September 24th, 2016. Here's a video about Zoe Berger, saying she shouldn't be allowed on YouTube and complaining about the age restriction system. Eki's video came out September 20th, 2016, Sparta's on September 21st, 2016. Here's Sparta's first video on Exility, talking about his clickbait. Trolls' video came out July 26th, 2016, Sparta's on July 27th, 2016. And finally, here's his second video talking about Exility and his clickbait, which has now gone too far. Trolls' video came out December 2nd, 2016, Sparta's on December 4th, 2016. These two videos are extremely similar in title, and we know that Sparta didn't look anything into the subject other than Trolls' video, because this thumbnail, the one that got him so fired up, here's what he had to say about that video.
That fucking thumbnail. A dude holding a knife up to a baby's fucking head. Are you fucking kidding me, Exility? Now, it's not so much the fact that this is clickbait, it's what the clickbait is. Is this even, like, I didn't click the video, who the fuck would? But this is probably misleading, knowing Exility.
You know who should probably watch that video? Someone who's going to use it as the anchor to their own video. This is the video version of someone going to a random video and disliking it solely based on outside opinion. And I'm not saying Exility is good by any means. I'm just saying fact check your shit. Now, I'm not against these videos because they involve Sparta talking about something that's trending. I'm against these videos because they add very little, if anything, to the topic. Not comedy, not depth, nothing but popular opinion thrown out onto the internet as quickly as possible so that he can garner some attention. And the fact that his videos come out so close to when the original call-out was released should tell you all that you need to know about how much he actually looked into the situation and how hollow and shallow his observations truly are. But there is a silver lining to this point. Since he's following pre-made points most of the time, it seems like he doesn't really know how to craft a compelling or original argument. So when he does try to venture off and break the mold with an original idea, such as his H3H3 fandom rant, which as far as I can tell was original, his points are so laughably stupid that I can make a video mocking him every step of the way. And I did. And it was fun. And that bitch should deep throat a chainsaw! Well, that should about do it. What's time looking like? 7 minutes? Oh, god damn it! What the fuck am I gonna fill it with? Well, I guess I could... like, mini house tour? So these are the stairs. I like to go up them sometimes. And here's my PS4 collection, some of my games. There's a broken foosball table. Right here's my DVDs. And here's my hot water tank. Recently broke, had to get a new pipe. Oh, good times. Maybe a water bottle challenge. Kids like that these days, don't they? Or I guess I could just Markiplier it and stare at an inanimate object for a few minutes. Yeah, I kind of like that one. I think I'll do that. Wait a minute. To do anything like that, I'd have to actually get out of my chair. Oh well. 3 minutes of black screen never hurt anybody. I mean, it's not like I actually care about my content. The final issue that I have with Sparta is more personal opinion, so you can take it how you will, but I think his abuse of the YouTube algorithm is one of the most annoying and lazy things about him. Now, I don't know everything about YouTube's monetization policies, but how I understand it is if a video runs longer than 10 minutes, you can put multiple ads on that video, resulting in more ad revenue. And personally, I think that's fine. I think if the video runs over 10 minutes naturally, then it probably took you a good amount of time to edit and work on. But the issue with WildSpartanz is that, majority of the time, his videos do not run over 10 minutes naturally. Let's take a look at a clip from his recent I Am Colorblind Q&A with a Clickbait title video.
You guys want to know a secret? This video was 12 minutes before I cut out little gaps and questions I fucked up on. But if you made it this far, if you made it to like all of these before, you're fucking weird. Like, I would never watch this far. I would probably be mad at me if I was a viewer, and this dude every time had this little outro clip after the outro where he just rambled about how he loves ad revenue.
This is one of the most infuriating things I think I've ever heard. This faggot is so unbelievably smug that he literally made a 1-minute outro complaining about anyone who watched that far into his shit video that he recorded in 12 minutes. I just don't understand. You put no effort into your videos, you don't have a script, you don't have your own opinion, you don't have any respect for your fans, you can't even make a video more than 10 minutes long and be interesting. You said in a pitch black fucking background that you recorded 12 minutes, but like 4 of those minutes were you fucking up words. Well then, make a compilation at the end of the video as a gag reel or something. Or, I don't know, review fan art for a minute at the end. Jesus fucking Christ, you lazy cunt. Do something. And what's even worse about this is that he has the full support of the commentary community who should be massacring him for this bullshit. He's a money-grubbing, unoriginal, hypocritical clickbaiter, and apparently that's fine. Maybe the commentary community is just full of a bunch of morons who can't swim to the shores of sanity because they keep getting pulled back into the water by the undercurrent of their own retardation. Or, more likely, they've never managed to make it through one of his videos because he's just so fucking annoying. WildSpartanz is probably one of the least respected people in the commentary community in terms of public perception of his videos, with the party line that I often hear from his fans being, his content's not great, but he's a nice person. And for the extent of videos, interviews, and podcasts I've seen from him, I'd agree with that sentiment. He seems to be a decent guy who makes consistently average to subpar quality videos. And because of the success he's attained, in conjunction with the majority of his videos not being any great accomplishment, it's opened him up for a lot of criticism from the community.
Everyone's always shouting him out and retweeting him, telling him how much of a great content creator he is. But he's not.
I even made a video criticizing him over a year ago, citing 2 of the most common points that often get brought up on him today, such as him stretching his content to hit the 10-minute mark and covering trending topics without bringing anything interesting or insightful with him. And while both are still of some issue, I don't personally think they're as prevalent of criticisms as they were a year ago, at least from the videos of his that I've seen. He's not adding 3 minutes of black screen at the end and telling you that you're weird for watching that far anymore.
You guys want to know a secret? This video was 12 minutes before I cut out little gaps and questions I fucked up on. Like, YouTube is so hard. Like, it's so hard to get the extra fucking ad revenue. Like,
instead, these days, if time's not at 10 minutes, he seems to often just repeat his points.
Why is there a technical issue on YouTube? Please tell us why the technical issue occurred. Just a technical issue. That stupid technical issue. Technical issue. Technical issue.
Which of course leads people to the perception that you're extending your content solely for the benefit of getting a few more dollars in AdSense, even if it's a detriment to the video. And if you'd like to argue that popular perception of people thinking this is irrelevant, allow WildSpartanz to tell you himself that
perception trumps the reality of the situation. It's that simple, right?
Now, I say all of this not as preface to criticize him, but as preface to say that WildSpartanz obviously looks at YouTube with the intent of making money. And while it's very easy to take that into the next step of calling him greedy, it's a debatable term for him at best. I think it should be more so likened to him viewing YouTube as his job, which, I mean, it is, but insofar as him seeing it as money first, be creative or exhaustive in research if time allows.
Well, it's the whole you're just doing it for views, which is the whole fucking point. You know, I
like views.
Right.
And as this seems to be the way he views his presence on the site, it brings up the question of how legitimate a stance should this be to take? In other words, do you think it's legitimate to predominantly look at YouTube as your job? And in my opinion, there's no real correct answer to that. Because while it would seem like the obvious answer would be, yeah, tons of people make a career on YouTube, so why can't you look at it like that? I think in taking that view, you can justify doing almost anything under that pretense. For an extreme example, let's look at Lispy Jimmy for a second. Like it or not, YouTube is Lispy Jimmy's job. He's made a career out of outlandish clickbait and horrible videos. But, I mean, since it's his job, can you really blame him? He's just doing what he's got to do to keep his job, right? He just has to pay the bills. And to a much lesser extent, the same logic can be applied to WildSpartanz. He has to stretch his videos to 10 minutes or else he's not going to make enough money to go full bore on the platform. And you can take that argument, as WildSpartanz is prone to doing, and turn that into, if I was really money hungry, I'd be making even worse videos.
Because it's like, if I was a money whore, I'd be making videos like Extract Hub, for example.
Right.
And sure, he could be making worse videos, but that's not an argument. Everyone could be making worse videos. Even Lispy Jimmy could be making worse videos. For example, he could wear his sunglasses correctly. There goes that essential Lispy Jimmy comedy that we all subscribe for.
Well, what's up guys, Lispy Jimmy here. I hope you're doing great today. Actually, I hope you woke up feeling freaking awesome.
But in seriousness, pushing the blame off onto another person that is worse than you doesn't absolve you of a flawed practice. But regardless, this is the philosophy that WildSpartanz seems to live by. This is my job, I want this to continue being my job, and to do so, I will do as much as I can to retain my success. And to that effect, WildSpartanz has been very successful. 160-something odd thousand subscribers is certainly nothing to scoff at. And while, as I said above, I don't think any of his videos are any great achievement, there's something that WildSpartanz seems to have taken at least a decent amount of time looking into, and that would be how to succeed.
But there is like a base formula where it's like, views in the first couple hours, crucial to the video's performance. And if you get those views in the first couple hours, the video has a lot more potential in search.
WildSpartanz seems to be very interested in the growth side of the platform. How to get your channel out there, how to hit the recommended, what thumbnails work, what topics work, and everything that could help him get more of a foothold to success. He's put a lot of thought into these various areas and has been rewarded as such, even to the point where I'm Alex credits him as a person to come to with issues in this category.
For titling, tagging, doing his thumbnails, taking his entire video ideas and re-uploading them to their channel just with their face and voice. And it's like, you know, people don't credit Brandon for the work he does.
So to take a look at his channel from this lens is perhaps to say, even more so than money, he runs his channel as a feedback loop for success. Now, is this a bad thing? No, not exactly. It's not like he's beating a bag of kittens against a brick wall, but it allows him to bypass what are so often his criticisms and bend his principles to push further into success. For example, his principle on clickbait used to be this.
Clickbait is misleading. Putting tits in the thumbnail when there's no tits in the video is an example of misleading.
But he's become very lenient on it to allow him to title things like, "This channel is worse than Rice Gum," so that he can play off the big name of Rice Gum, but it doesn't give you any hints to the main topic of discussion for the video. And that's fine, it's not worse than Lispy Jimmy, but that was a principle that you've had and lost in order to reach a wider audience with that video. And that principle is lost, it's fine. The point is not to bitch about a misleading title, the point is to say that you can slowly swallow everything into a vacuum of acceptance when you lose your principles. This is okay because of X reason. This is okay because of Y reason. And in that way, I can see why most of these stronger criticisms of WildSpartanz have been, for the most part, ignored. Because the majority of them are not criticisms that are going to garner him any more success on the platform. They're criticisms that are going to make his videos better. Taking the time to do an in-depth analysis of something probably isn't going to allow for 3 videos a week. Being more concise in the things that you say isn't going to rack you up 10 minutes as easily. So why would you attempt to do these things if they aren't going to help you earn and succeed? And I don't really know what that answer is for most people. Why would you take the path of more resistance when a decently edited facecam Logan Paul video will get you twice the views in a third of the time? It just makes sense to take that path. And I do think that's the path that WildSpartanz has taken. A path that's more so focused on the success side of YouTube instead of the path that's centered around making something unique, different, or creative. And I think a lot of the inner conflict that happens between people in commentary takes place between people who are looking at YouTube from different places on these paths. For example, I don't like WildSpartanz content. I personally think that it's pretty vapid, uninspired, and that he does very little to expand upon or adapt the source material that he works with. Now, that's my opinion, and you could make the same critique of me from your view, but from my view, the way I attempt to approach the site is make good content that I want to make and let success come when it hopefully does. However, I don't think that's the way that WildSpartanz views it from his end. I believe he views it as success is the predominant enjoyment factor in making content. The more successful his content is, the happier he will be with that product. It usually seems to be less so about him putting out something that he can be proud of making in the future, and more so about what that video can do for his channel at that time. However, that's not to say that at the center of these two approaches, sometimes our ideals meet. I'll cover trending topics when I think there's something in that topic that really piques my interest in it. And WildSpartanz makes his excessive exposition series to satiate his desire to create something that actually has quite a bit of work put into it.
When I decided to start my excessive exposition series.
Okay.
That's the moment that I like the most besides 100K, because I feel like that's the type of content that I put the most in, and I research the most, and I put the most effort in.
And while, in the end, I think his content veers into vapid and uninteresting way too often to give him any kind of pass myself, I can put a logic to it that I think makes sense, even if I don't agree with that approach. Anyways, that's the video, guys. Like it, don't like it, let me know. I think I wrote and revised this script 4 times, so if any of it doesn't match up that well, I apologize. My initial draft took a more detailed look at WildSpartanz' approach in terms of putting success first and where I think that can lead you as you struggle to retain YouTube as your job, eventually drawing parallels between him and Lispy Jimmy, whom he hates, which is why I brought up Lispy Jimmy in the beginning of the video. But I thought that draft erred too far on the side of criticizing him, and I wanted to more so get across a cohesive argument for how he could have reached this point on his channel and the logic behind it. And I could be completely wrong that this is his approach, but if his approach is similar to mine, I have to say that I think he's doing it wrong. Also, there's one thing that's irked me about WildSpartanz that happened after he started getting this heavy criticism and addressing it, and that's the mischaracterization that he seems to give all his criticisms. Like, Christ, some of them are so blatant it's ridiculous. Like in his excessive exposition on 10-minute videos, he spends a third of it explaining why YouTubers aren't evil.
That does not mean they hate their fan base and are evil people. That is something people like to push towards people who make 10-minute long videos, that they're evil. Everyone I know who has stretched a video to 10 minutes long cares about their fan base and are nice people.
That's something that doesn't even need to be said, but even if you do feel it necessary, it's a 2-line refutement at best. Because no logical person is sitting down to argue that every YouTuber is evil because they make 10-minute videos. And when he does actually discuss the topic of stretching content, which is the main criticism, he gives a sob story about it.
And most of them only stretched their content because the extra revenue was the only way they could pay their bills.
And pushes the blame onto others who do it worse.
One of the only people I think you can say are stretching most of their content is Lispy Jimmy.
This video counters nothing. It discredits none of the criticisms. It's trash. And I mean, I could go on and on about this because it's just something that he's done that's irked me, but I didn't want to make a separate video on it or anything, so I just figured I'd bring it up here. Also, let me say that some of his more recent videos have actually been much better, more concise and focused than he's been in the past in my opinion, so hopefully he can continue that trend going forward. But I fear that once a new big trend like the next content cop or something crops up and there is actually something to talk about, he'll go back to rushing out videos since trending topics have a very small time frame, but only time will tell that.